Okay, my guest is live with me. Okay, all right, awesome. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, David. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, good morning. Thanks for joining me on the show today.
Thank you. What an honor. Great.
His name is Samson. He's an author of 5 books. He's a trainer, a business strategist. He's a lead partner and co-founder of Listra Consults. He's running the consulting firm alongside with his wife. Also, the strategy is a strategy consulting firm positioned to raise high growth entrepreneurs who desire to build high profitable organizations in Africa. Over the last decade, he has gained professional experience working with 22 startups, small and medium enterprise. So you're welcome to the show once again. Thanks for joining me,
Thank you.
Mr. Samson.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, sir. You can go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, thank you. This morning, we're going to be looking at repositioning your business for post-COVID-19. Now,
19.
we discovered that a lot of things have happened as a result of COVID. Beautiful things have happened, excellent things have happened, sad things have happened. But you know what? The amazing thing about it is it all happened for good. Now, to start with, I would like us to look at the psychological effect of the current pandemic on business. And from there, we'll now take it up on what we can do differently. Number one, one of the psychological effects of the current pandemic is the fact that it has been able to create a culture where trust is placed on demand. How do I mean by that? Now, you discover that because of the COVID, everybody is now careful. Everybody is now watchful. So what this has done for us is the fact that it has created 2 P's, pleasure and pain. Now, everybody is in pain because of what COVID has done. Now, right now, everybody is looking for a way to everybody's looking for a pleasurable way out of pain. And so what this has done is that this has created a culture where people need to be transparent about what they do. Now, this is not an era where you want to deceive a customer, you want to tell somebody what is not. This is a period where people are very careful with how they spend. So before they spend, they must have developed trust to an extent before they do business with you. So this is an era where a lot of collaborations are going to emerge. However, people are going to be very careful with what they are signing into. So it has created a culture where people are ready to face reality with all honesty. For example, in the hospital, there's usually this disagreement between doctors and nurses. But because of COVID, everybody's working together for the same cause, to save life. So now, because of COVID, the customer and the seller are working in partnership to ensure that they both enjoy pleasure and not pain. So a customer is looking at good management of expectation. Now, everybody has an expectation from the buyer and the seller. Now, from the perspective of the client and the service provider, there is expectation. The expectation of the client is that they want to be satisfied as a result of engaging a business person, a service provider, in whatever services they have to offer that can ease their pain. And so what the pandemic has done is that everybody is looking forward to how their expectations are going to be properly managed. So this is not an era where you treat your customers anyhow. This is an era where you need to provide some sort of engagements where the customer derives pleasure from patronizing you, because remember, everybody is careful how they spend money. So nobody wants to spend money on the wrong thing, on what will not bring value. So what this does that, it also creates a sense of accountability on the part of the service provider and on the part of the customer. So everybody is accountable for the action they take when it comes to doing business in this pandemic, and this is something that is going to continue for a very long time. I guess this is the new normal. So accountability will be the watchword. So nobody will be willing to do business with somebody who is not accountable. So if you say you're going to provide after support service, you must mean what you say. You don't do it that because you just want to attract the customer and collect the money and you leave them. So now the beautiful thing about it is that it has also made everybody responsible. Everybody is now responsible for whatever conversation is going on in the course of transacting business. Now, the amazing thing now is it's practically impossible to blame somebody for whatever is going wrong. For example, if the internet is not bad, if the internet is not working well, your internet service provider is not working, what's impossible to blame anybody for whatever misfortune anybody is going through. Now, what COVID has done is it has provided options for everyone. Now, what the live streaming we are doing now, the video we're experiencing now is as a result of innovation. And so there's a lot of innovation that is coming out as a result of what should have been a disadvantage. So what could have been a pain? Okay, imagine how will I be able to engage this audience? Technology has provided a platform. So now there are so many options to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Now, for you to be able to position your business in the post-COVID era, this is what you need to do. Number one, information management. Now, this is not an era where you go to give your client information. The client, the customer has more options now than previously. What you need to do now is how to pay attention. So in this, for you to be able to position your business properly in this era, you need to learn how to pay attention to get the right information from the customer. This is not an era where you begin to assume you know what the customer will like or what the customer will need. Taste and preferences are changing by the day, and so is behavior. Now, a customer might be buying something before now, but the customer may no longer be interested in that thing. Why? Because the preference and the taste has changed. The person is looking at something else. Okay, let's give an example. Before now, if you want to buy a recharge card, you go to a call center or you go to a phone booth to buy. Now, from the comfort of your room, you can actually use your smartphone and dial a certain code, and you purchase your airtime without going out. So technology has created a lot of options, but however, not everybody will be able to migrate as fast as possible through technology. So it's a gradual step, but however, it's important we take the right information from the clients. So this is not in the post-COVID era. For you to be able to excel, you need to be able to pay attention and listen to the customer. Let the customer do the talking while you take notes and know exactly where to solve the problem. Before now, you can submit proposals and proposal will do the magic. Right now, you cannot just submit a proposal blindly. You must know exactly what the customer is looking at. If maybe you are into sales, you must know exactly what the customer is looking for. You now look at it, what I'm selling, does it meet the need of the customer? Does it have the capacity to transform the customer's experience, because RAP is all about experience, it's all about engagement, it's all about trust, it's all about accountability, it's all about responsibility. So you just have to wear this. If you are in business, you just have to wear a large hat and wear a large cap to be able to accommodate everything that has to do with information management. The more you are able to manage information properly, the faster you are able to close in on the customers and your target audience effectively and efficiently. Now, the next point is people management. Now that you have gotten the information, how well are you able to manage the people who are providing this information? You are going to meet a lot of customers who are going to be very hostile. Some of them will be very picky. Some of them, so at this point, when it comes to people management, you will also be able to learn how to take rejection as a direction rather than taking it personal. If somebody says, I'm not interested, you need to look at what else would the person be committed to. So it's no longer about interest, it's all about commitment. So how well will you be able to commit the people you are targeting to doing business with you? There's something I read this morning from Proverbs 24, 3-5, from the TPT translation, the Passion Translation. It says, wise people are builders. They build families, businesses, and communities. And through intelligence and insights, their enterprises are established and endure. Now, what it's trying to make us understand is it takes intelligence and insights for your enterprise to be established and to endure. Now, the next verse says, because of their skilled leadership, the hearts of people are filled with treasures of wisdom. So if you take skilled leadership, now you know that through intelligence and insight. So remember we said that it's about information management, it's about people management. So it's about knowing how to gather the right information with the right insight and intelligence from your customers effortlessly. Then you will be able to build on it and provide solutions that match such expectation. If you can hear me, type in the comment section.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, the next, from people management, the next thing is relationship management. How well are you able to manage relationship? Some people will, some won't. So what? You have to learn how to manage people. You have to learn how to build connection. Some people are going to buy from you today. Some will not buy tomorrow. So what are you doing? So it has to be, you have to constantly build connection with people. Now, this is one of the things I've learned so far in the post-COVID era. We must learn, in business, you must learn to take the hard choice. Hard choice will lead to easy life. Easy choice will lead to hard life. So it's okay to do what is hard for now, which has to do with build relationship consistently. Build relationship with every intention. Build relationship with a sense of commitment, responsibility, and accountability. Once you're able to build that, sometimes it might even be the people that you have built relationship with that will refer you to people who will do business with you. Now, once you have been able to master that, the next thing is, how well are you managing your business? What transitions are you bringing into your business? A lot of startups do not include the plan of succession. They don't include the plan of ownership. Most people want to own everything. So this is the time where you need to sit down, ask yourself a question. What are my strengths? What am I good at? What am I struggling with? This is the time for you to outsource your weaknesses and develop your strengths. Keep building on your strength. Work on your strength. Now, because everybody is doing it does not mean you should go into it. This is a time where you need to be very distinct about the services you are offering. This is a time where you need to be very clear about what you're doing. This is a time where you must be committed to meet the needs of your customers. This is the time where you need to go the extra mile. Remember, it's all about management. The more you are able to manage the situation, the better you are able to thrive in the situation. Now, the next point is legal management. A lot of us, a lot of business persons pay less attention to the legal aspect of their business. Get a lawyer who will advise you on legal matters, in terms of agreement you are going into, in terms of partnership, in terms of collaboration. There are a lot of things that you may not see because of excitement. So don't overly get excitement and just begin to sign agreement without getting a lawyer to look into what you're doing, because you must be able to see the future from now. But a lot of people are excited with the interest level. A lot of people are excited with what is happening now, that they do not even see the future. What if that decision is going to backfire and you did not plan for it? So in the post-COVID era that we have already entered, you need to take legal management seriously. Then one very important thing that will matter to all the points we have mentioned has to do with talent management. Now, in talent management, in business, you will know the kind of people to hire and the people not to hire. When it comes to talent management, you are looking at people who have the skills, the requisite skills that will help to take your business from where it is to where it should be. Now, one of the things that I will advocate for every business owner to do is to do a strength finder. As a business owner, what are your strengths? Do you know your strengths? Have you been able to identify your weaknesses? Now, every one of us, we are all gifted in our own unique right, but not every one of us can function the way every other person functions. For example, at the beginning of the year, I had to do a Gallup Strength Finder. And in that Gallup Strength Finder, I was able to discover my top 5 strengths. And ever since I discovered my top 5 strengths, I have been outsourcing my weaknesses. There are a lot of things I don't bother myself to do that I was bothering myself to do before now. Now that has posed, for example, one of my top 5 strengths is being strategic. So I had to build my strategic niche out of it. I'm a very futuristic person. So I started looking at, okay, what is the future of this idea? So that is how a lot of us, that's how businesses should start thinking. The business is not about you. It's about the next generation. But you need to build the right foundation. You need to put the right structures in place. Yes, building structure is not something that you go and download. It's something that you need to build around yourself. For example, if as a business owner, you are having issues with accountability, it will be very difficult for you to be able to get an accountable person to work with you. So you have to go and look, you have to sit down and discover how to make yourself more accountable. Now, people who don't trust themselves find it difficult to trust others. So trust is a social capital. So for you to be able to gain the trust of others, you must be trustworthy yourself. You must be worthy of trust. Now, this is an era where if you have people who are working for you, you need to be sincere and true to them. I remember discussing with someone, and the person was pained about what some business owners are doing. Imagine a business owner telling people that I'm not obligated to pay you salaries. Then why did you hire them? So we need to be true to our word, because A lot of things, with the era of this, with the post-COVID era that we have entered fully, repositioning is a continuous journey. We need to change the way we do things. People are looking for engagement. So if you are employing people, people are looking for how they will be engaged in their area of strength. Now, this is an area where you need to build a team. You need to collaborate. This is an era where you need to work as a team to be able to solve a common problem. If, for example, 7-Up Bottling Company could go into the manufacturing of hand sanitizer, to tell you that everybody is looking for how to be relevant. So if you do not change your approach to business, you are going to be out of business. And so the only way, like what we have discussed so far, these are the ways, the simple ways to reposition yourself in the post-COVID era. It might look simple, it might look abstract, but this is a real deal. A lot of organizations are improving on their information management system. A lot of organizations who want to be relevant in the next couple of years are paying serious attention to people management. They are investing in the development, in the personal development of their people. They are investing heavily in infrastructures. They are investing heavily in making sure that the environment is conducive enough to encourage innovation. Not every environment is conducive for innovation. So a lot of organizations are paying close attention to people management. They are paying close attention to relationship management, how they manage relationship from employees to customers, from customers to employees, to make sure that there is a smooth transition, that everybody is moving at the same pace. Just like in the game of football, there is a reason why you have substitution, where when the coach notices that a player is not playing according to structure or is feeling weak, they bring in a player to reinforce that area of weakness so that the game can continue. And so everybody is like I remember in secondary school we used to have a game called game of concentration. So for you to be able to reposition your business in this new era, you have to pay full concentration. You must be committed to concentrate on what's important and what is needed. Now, business management, you must be able to tweak, your business to be able to meet modern day reality. You must be able to look at, in how many ways can I serve my customers? In how many ways can my product and services be relevant to the customers I am targeting? You must pay attention to feedback. You must be able to send out regular feedback to your clients to know how they feel about your business, where you need to change, where you need to modify, how well you're serving them. You must be able to do more than you are being paid for. Then sometimes you may not be able to hire the services of a lawyer, but however, within your network, there are people who are your friends, who are lawyers, who you could discuss with them, and they could offer their services for you at a token. Remember, you are trying to reposition your business. You don't need to put heavy capital on your business so that it wouldn't collapse. So you need to build gradually with the right thing. One of the things I do is I make sure that my network, the kind of relationship I have, are very, very valuable. There are people that, for example, I have lawyers as friends, I have accountants as friends who advise me on financial matters. So, so you need to get conversant with what is the law of the day saying. Now, there is something interesting. There is a business of the future and there is a business for the future. Now, if you're able to lay proper foundation with information management, people management, relationship management, business management, legal management, talent management, you will be able to position yourself for the future. For example, a lot of us have been expected will be working from home. Now, working from home is the new future. There are some organizations that have signed that, henceforth, until something changes, we are going to be working from home. Now, with working from home, it's able to help them to experience effective cost management. You're able to manage your costs. You are able to increase your profits. Now, these are the structures that you need to be able to lay down for you to be able to reposition your business for post-COVID era. Are you following me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, so interesting part is that we need to keep improving. Now, let's take a look at what has happened before now. Before, during the course of the lockdown, we experienced that there was air traffic was paralyzed. People could not fly.
Yes.
So you had to stay at home compulsorily. Now, the tourism sector was shut down. You could no longer go for recreation activities.
Definitely.
And you discovered that there was a rush for purchase of goods. A lot of people were making panic purchases. You go to some stores, you discover that you cannot find anything to buy. People have cleared it off because of the fear of we don't know what next is going to happen. Then there was a lot of disruption in supply chain. Now, chain markets. So for you to be able to reposition yourself, you must be ready to embrace disruption. You must be a disruptor and not the disrupted. Now, for you to be able to, so what does that mean? That you must be able to build for the future, and you must be able to build consistently. You must be able to take risk. One of my friends always told me something growing up: always take risks because it's risky not to take one. So this is an era where you don't need to be looking for platforms. You need to build competence and create your own platform, own your own stage, create a demand in the marketplace for your goods and services. You need to be very strategic about what you're doing. This is the time where you need to question what you do and then find out. If you are critical about what you do, you will discover that criticism will only form a part of endorsement to endorse that you're actually on the right track. Now, the amazing thing that we need to start doing from today is we need to start communicating regularly. How often do you communicate with your customers? We know that there's a lot of, with the aid of social media, email marketing, but that should not be an avenue for you to be bombarding your customers with buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. Okay, for example, I was working with a client and I told the client something. I said, okay, now you have launched this. How about monetizing what you have launched into online courses? How about creating an avenue where while you are sleeping, your published asset is actually making money for you? How about repositioning yourself where you begin to hold coaching section for business leaders, more like executive coaching? How about, okay, you mentoring people? You have published a book, people are buying the book, but you are actually creating more channels from that what you have done. So how about, okay, you have clients that you do business with. How about you telling them, okay, do you have broken down equipment that I could help you solve? Or are there issues that you are having that you've been having challenges to solve? Let me give, for example, before the COVID, I did not know that we're going to be under lockdown. And so several years ago, I was putting down some thoughts. And all of a sudden, an inspiration came to put down that into a book. Then I came up with this book, Multiple Bank Alerts. I was able to outline 50 businesses you can start from your home. And in the moment everybody was under lockdown, the demand for the book increased. People started asking, what can I do? What businesses can I do? I cannot go out. And a lot of people, so I was able to outline 50 businesses, and the people who bought it started giving a lot of feedback that, whoa, I read your book, my eyes opened. I said, in fact, one of the people that bought the book from Cameroon said she used to think that to start business, you need large capital. But after reading the book, she started a small business. She went into catering and started baking cake. People started ordering for wedding cake, birthday cake. And she was saying, wow, what have I been doing all this while? So COVID became a blessing for those who could think ahead. And it became a challenge for those who were waiting for things to remain the same. Just like the book, Who Moved My Cheese? A lot of people never anticipated for change. So rather than waiting for things to change, be the change that will affect the change. So you need to embrace, yes, if maybe you've lost your job, sorry about that, but you need to find out, what am I good at that I can offer as a service? In this book, I was able to outline some of the high income skills people need to learn. In addition, because it's an era of multiple streams of income, not only one stream of income. And some of the things that I outlined was, there are home-based businesses that you should look at. You should start exploring home-based businesses, home-based services that you could offer. You start exploring high-income skills. Now, some of the home-based businesses you could look at is, now because a lot of people are staying at home, a lot of people are doing a lot of stuff, you discover that some people might be very lazy to wash their clothes. You could provide laundry services. You could offer cleaning services for people. You could go to people's home, okay, you target the right people, okay, I could come and clean your home for a fee. You could consider packaging services. A lot of people are looking for how to move goods from one place to the other. So aside the business that you're doing, you could actually explore other options. A lot of people may not have time to cook. You could prefer meal planning services for people. You say, okay, you're thinking of what to eat. Why don't I send you my menu, and you take you pick what you want, and we order for you at a discount. Remember, people are careful with how much they spend, and they want to do whatever will ease their pain. Then a lot of people are looking for advisory. People who will advise them on what business to do, on what not to do, how to project. During this period, I was able to consult for quite a number of people. I did not leave my home. I sat down consulting for them. Okay, we exchanged emails. Okay, this is what I want. Okay, I was able to proffer solutions, and I was asking myself, this is what I should have been doing all along. Why follow up where you ought not to follow up? Because what this has happened is, with good communication, you are able to know when to communicate and when not to communicate. But however, you are still communicating. So one of the beautiful things as I wrap up to give room for questions is you must be able to reposition yourself in such a way that you give room for your clients to be able to interact with you. You communicate value to them, and they look at ways of interpreting the value. You create options for your customers. You create options for your prospects. You create a demand so that people will look for you for what you're doing. Because a lot of people are looking for solution. But the question now is, where will they find the solution? And as I close with this one, for example, Nigeria is blessed with where our population is almost approaching 200 million. And I said to myself during the COVID era, during the lockdown, I said, we have 200 million people with 200 million problems, looking for 200 million solutions. So imagine if I decide to offer 1% services to the population around me. Solving their problem. It will be pleasurable for me to make money, and it will be pleasurable for my customers to have their problem solved. We are both happy. So this brings us to the end of this. So I would like to pause at this point to take questions.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you so much for the strategies and the insight. There's a lot of opportunities out there, and I will encourage all those who are watching, and if you still catch the replay, to get his book, Multiple Bank Accounts. If you have any questions, you have a few minutes to ask your question, drop your comment. I will display your question so that he can answer your question. And I want to appreciate your time once again. I've learned a lot, because this COVID-19 has given us a shape. There was a job I applied for. There was 3 weeks ago. They told me I'm going to be coming to office 3 times in a week. The others will be online. So that's how COVID-19 has reshaped businesses. Absolutely. And a lot of things. Yeah, definitely. So if you have any question, please kindly drop your comments. I'm going to display your question so that he can answer your question. Any question about the subject of today, anything related to business, the business guru, so you on the right track. You're on the right track, and you can ask your questions. And if you want to get his book, I will drop his profile link under this video, under this post, so that you can send him a message and get his book, Multiple Bank Alerts. As you can hear him, people from Cameroon, they get the book. So any part of the world that you're watching this thing from. Okay, this is a wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, Rotimi Ode Jai. Okay, thank you. If you have any question, ask your question so that we can take your question. All right, this is the question I'm going to ask, sir. In this era of post-COVID-19, there are people, COVID-19 makes people to come online. Many people, majority of people are online. So how can people verify good business? Because recently in my DM, I've seen people like 3 come and invest this, come and invest that. So I know many people might have come across that. So how can they recognize good business they can invest in?
Okay, that's a very good question. I remember recently somebody sold an idea to me.
Okay, sir.
And I looked at the idea and I piqued interest and paid for the course to learn more about it. I was shocked going through it that this is not relevant to me. I now told the person, can I have a refund? The person said, no, your money is gone. The person was now trying to sell another thing to me. One lesson I learned is, if you do not position yourself on how to sell, somebody is going to sell trash to you and you're going to buy.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That is true. That is true.
So
I think
one of the
what
things,
every business.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, I think what everybody needs to learn is the art of selling and marketing, because you
Absolutely.
have so definitely, because there's something in you that you can start as a business. So it comes to how can you sell, how can you market. You know, there was an era, if you are not feasible, you can come back and still start a business, but now you need to blow your trumpet very well through marketing and selling. I think those two skills are very important too in business, in position in business, especially in this post-COVID-19 era. So you are saying something the other time,
Okay.
sir. I caught.
Yes. Okay. So, another thing is the question you asked. A lot of people are going to come to you because they have studied, or it's more like a guesswork. Let us try.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why we must understand our strengths. We must understand what we are looking for, what we are looking at, and what we are good at. Now, this is an area where you need to learn how to, instead of going into a business you have no knowledge about, why don't you start looking at how you can monetize what you have? For example, you could write books for people from the comfort of your home. You could offer to help other people sell their products for a commission.
Definitely.
Instead of going into production, instead of investing in, right now, a lot of people are looking for how to cash out on people. To say, okay, come and do this, come and do this, come and do this, come and do that. Now, the question you should ask yourself, in what way can this offering transform me? I tell people, a business that cannot transform you cannot transform others. It's going to be a scam.
Scam, yes.
People tell you, okay, come and invest 20,000 and start making 1 million. But there's a lot of information. So if you are not well informed, never invest in any business.
Definitely. Yes,
I've made some mistakes, and what I told myself is, that is another MBA.
Yes.
So anytime I make a mistake, I tell myself I have acquired another MBA. And so I called it I think major business alteration. So,
oh wow.
So because I did not build my capacity, somebody has sold something to me that has altered my business plan or my business projection. Plan. So that's called an MBA, major business alteration. So it has been altered. My business model has been altered because I was not paying attention to it. So a lot of people, so that's why I remember I mentioned that we need to look at the business of the future. What we should be looking at is what we are currently doing. In 10 years' time, how relevant would that be? Now, it was painful that I worked with a client who was into this bike haulage, and because of the government ban, they lost out. Almost everybody they employed were fired. So imagine if the bike services had gone into delivery services instead of transportation, instead of carrying people. They would have been more relevant. They would have made more money than what they have lost. So sometimes we need to always, before we invest, right now what I do is there are a lot of offers that are coming. That's why I said get a lawyer to look at some of these things. A lot of them appear juicy and sweet, but by the time you put your hand inside, you will not only have an MBA, you just discover that you are going to enroll for a degree course.
Yes, that aspect of, okay, sorry to cut you, sir. That aspect of the legal management, I think, is very, very important, because many people are not paying attention to that. They are not paying attention. I think recently there are some news I'm reading about some board of directors, they remove some people management, some issues that happen. I think if people should pay more attention to the legal aspect, there are issues that even when it arises, you know what to do next, and the advice you get from your lawyers can help you to scale out of that issue. Once I was reading a comment this morning, there's this guy that has a company, he said his friend is in jail now due to an investment he did. Unknown to him, at the back end, it's like a fraud or something not really clean. So it was just like innocent individual suffering in the jail. So that aspect of legal dimension is very important. That's why I'm emphasizing and just creating some things I've seen online to back up your point, sir.
Yeah. Now, okay, last week I was discussing with a client and something came up. Somebody put up an advert, a pharmaceutical company for sale. Now, it was an interesting, so look for buyers. Now, 3 people were involved. Let's say Mr. A was looking for a buyer as a result of information Mr. B gave. Mr. C now announced to them, we have found a buyer. We are ready for inspection. Now, B and C are relying on each other without the knowledge of A. So, at the end of the day, they discovered that there was no pharmaceutical company for sale. It was just an advert to attract attention.
That's serious. That's serious.
So that's why I said that there are a lot of juicy offers that are going to be presenting itself, why one needs to be very careful.
Yes, yes.
And
especially
in as much as, especially in this period, especially, there's this word that we use, that the fear of missing out. We need to be also very careful about that fear of missing out. So we should rather look at what will I gain if I miss out, and what will I not lose if I don't miss out, so that we are able to weigh the options carefully. Yes, it's good to put up sales, put up offers, so that people will not miss out of whatever you have to support. The question you should look at it, is that offer solving a problem, or is it creating more problems for the customer? Because everybody wants to sell at all costs, relevant or not relevant. So we need to now look at, okay, this fear of missing out, is it actually what I need, or is it actually what I want? Remember, we all have choice, we all have preferences, we all have tastes. For the fact that you don't buy something does not mean you are not going to buy something more better than tomorrow. It's just like when the SIM cards came out, people were buying SIM card for 30,000, and some people thought they were wise by going to hoard it, praying and wishing it gets to 50,000. And now with 100 naira, some even free, you can get a SIM card.
Man.
So there is nothing like the fear of missing out any longer when it comes to SIM card. So we should avoid panicking when we want to make critical decisions in business.
Yes.
So don't think alone when you want to make a decision. Carry the right people along, people who can see ahead of you. So at the end of the day, your decisions are very clear. Thank you.
Very clear. All right. Oh, I love this engagement, this conversation. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Samson Wilson. I'm so grateful to have you on board. And I will endeavor, I will put the link for your profile. I need the details of your book. I'm going to get it, so I will drop it under this video so that people can get it. So thank you so much. And I'll be
You're
looking
welcome.
forward to see you next time, sir. All right.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you everyone for joining.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you, sir. We have come to the end of today's show. I'm so grateful you joined this live broadcast. Till I come your way again, my name is David Akinwale. Live your best life. Peace out.